In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Closer and closer to mankind comes their reckoning, yet they heed not, and they turn away. Never comes aught to them of a renewed message from their Lord, but they listen to it as in jest, their hearts toying as with trifles. The wrongdoers conceal their private counsels, saying, Is this one more than a man like yourselves? Will ye go to witchcraft with your eyes open? Say, my Lord knoweth every word spoken in the heavens and on earth. He is the one that heareth and knoweth all things. No, they say, these are medleys of dreams. No, they forged it. No, he is but a poet. Let him then bring us a sign like the ones that were sent to prophets of old. As to those before them, not one of the towns which we destroyed believed. Will these believe? Before thee also the messengers we sent were but men, to whom we granted inspiration. If you know this not, ask of those who possess the message. Nor did we give them bodies that ate no food, nor were they immortals. Then we fulfilled to them our promise, and we saved them and those whom we willed, but we destroyed those who transgressed beyond bounds. We have revealed for you, O men, a book which will give you eminence. Will ye not then understand? How many were the towns we utterly destroyed because of their iniquities, setting up in their places other peoples? Yet when they felt our punishment coming, behold, they tried to flee from it. Flee not, but return to the good things of this life which were given to you and to your homes, in order that you may be called to account. They said, Ah, woe to us, we were indeed wrongdoers. And that cry of theirs ceased not, till we made them as a field that is mown, as ashes silent and quenched. Nor for idle sport did we create the heavens and the earth, and all that is in between. If it had been our wish to take just a pastime, we should surely have taken it from the things nearest to us, if we would do such a thing. No, we hurl the truth against falsehood, and it knocks out its brain, and behold, falsehood doth perish. Ah, woe be to you for the false things you ascribe to us. To him belong all creatures in the heavens and on earth, even to those who are with him are not too proud to serve him, nor are they ever weary of his service. They celebrate his praises night and day, nor do they ever flag or intermit. Or have they taken for worship gods from the earth who could raise the dead? If there were in the heavens and the earth other gods besides Allah, there would have been ruin in both. But glory to Allah, the Lord of the throne, high is he above all they can attribute to him. He cannot be questioned for his acts, but they will be questioned for theirs. Or have they taken for worship other gods besides him? Say, bring your convincing proof. This is the message of those with me, and the message of those before me. But most of them know not the truth, and so turn away. Not a messenger did we send before thee without this inspiration sent by us to him, that there is no God but I, therefore worship and serve me. And they say, the most gracious has taken a son, glory to him. They are but servants raised to honor. They speak not before he speaks, and they act in all things by his command. He knows what it is before them and what is behind them, and they offer no intercession except for those with whom he is well pleased, and they stand in awe and reverence of his glory. If any of them should say, I am a god besides him, such a one we should reward with hell. Thus do we reward those who do wrong. Do not the unbelievers see that the heavens and the earth were joined together as one unit of the creation before we clove them asunder? We made from water every living thing. Will they not then believe? And we have set on the earth mountains standing firm, lest it should shake with them. And we have made therein broad highways between mountains for them to pass through, that they may find their way. And we have made the heavens as a canopy well guarded, yet do they turn away from the signs which these things point to. It is he who created the night and the day and the sun and the moon. All the celestial bodies swim along, each in its rounded course. We grant not to any man before thee permanent life here. If then thou shouldst die, would they live permanently? Every soul shall have a taste of death, and we test you by evil and by good, by way of trial. To us must you return. When the unbelievers see thee, they treat thee not except with ridicule. Is this, they say, the one who talks of your gods? And they blaspheme at the mention of the Most Gracious. Man is a creature of haste. Soon enough will I show you my signs, so ask me not to hasten them. They say, when will this promise come to pass, if you are telling the truth? If only the unbelievers knew the time when they will not be able to ward off the fire from their faces, nor yet from their backs, and when no help can reach them. No, it may come to them all of a sudden and confound them. No power will they have then to avert it, nor will they then get respite. Mocked were many messengers before thee, but their scoffers were hemmed in by the thing that they mocked. Say, who can keep you safe by night and by day from the wrath of the Most Gracious? Yet they turn away from the remembrance of their Lord. Or have they gods that can guard them from us? They have no power to aid themselves, nor can they be defended from us. No, we gave the good things of this life to those men and their fathers until the period grew long for them. See they not that we gradually reduced the land in their control from its outlying borders? Is it then they who will win? Say, I do but warn you according to revelation, but the deaf will not hear the call, even when they are warned. If but a breath of the wrath of thy Lord do touch them, they will then say, Woe to us, we did wrong indeed. We shall set up scales of justice for the day of judgment, so that not a soul will be dealt with unjustly in the least. And if there be no more than the weight of a mustard seed, we will bring it to account, and enough are we to take account. In the past we granted to Moses and Aaron the criterion for judgment, and a light and a message for those who would do right, those who fear their Lord in their most secret thoughts, and who hold the hour of judgment in awe. And this is a blessed message which we have sent down. Will you then reject it? We bestowed aforetime on Abraham his rectitude of conduct, and well were we acquainted with him. Behold, he said to his father and his people, What are these images to which you are so assiduously devoted? They said, We found our fathers worshipping them. He said, Indeed, you have been in manifest error, you and your fathers. They said, Have you brought us the truth, or are you one of those who jest? He said, No, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, he who created them from nothing, and I am a witness to this truth. And by Allah, I will certainly plan against your idols after you go away and turn your backs. So he broke them to pieces, all but the biggest of them, that they might turn and address themselves to it. They said, Who has done this to our gods? He must indeed be one of the unjust ones. They said, We heard a youth talk of them. He is called Abraham. They said, Then bring him before the eyes of the people, that they may bear witness. They said, Art thou the one that did this with our gods, O Abraham? He said, No, this was done by this, the biggest one. Ask them if they can talk. So they turned themselves and said, Surely you are the ones in the wrong. Then they were confounded with shame. They said, Thou knowest full well that these idols do not speak. Abraham said, Do you then worship besides Allah things that can neither be of any good to you, nor do you harm? Fie upon you and upon the things that you worship besides Allah. Have you no sense? They said, Burn him and protect your gods if you do anything at all. We said, O fire, be thou cool, and a means of safety for Abraham. Then they planned against him, but we made them the greater losers. But we delivered him and his nephew Lut, and directed them to the land which we have blessed for the nations. And we bestowed on him Isaac, and as an additional gift a grandson, Jacob, and we made righteous men of every one of them. And we made them leaders, guiding men by our command, and we inspired them to do good deeds, to establish regular prayers, and to give zakat, and they consistently served us, and us only. And to Lut too we gave judgment and knowledge, and we saved him from the town which practiced abominations. Truly they were a people given to evil, a rebellious people. And we admitted him to our mercy, for he was one of the righteous. Remember Noah when he cried to us aforetime. We listened to his prayer and delivered him and his family from great distress. We helped him against people who rejected our signs. Truly they were a people given to evil. So we drowned them in the flood altogether. And remember David and Solomon when they gave judgment in the matter of the field unto which the sheep of certain people had strayed by night. We did witness their judgment. To Solomon we inspired the right understanding of the matter. To each of them we gave judgment and knowledge. It was our power that made the hills and the birds celebrate our praises with David. It was we who did all these things. It was we who taught him the making of coats of mail for your benefit, to guard you from each other's violence. Will you then be grateful? It was our power that made the violent unruly wind flow tamely for Solomon to his order to the land which we had blessed, for we do know all things. And of Satan's were some who dived for him, and did other work besides, and it was we who guarded them. And remember Job, when he cried to his Lord, Truly distress has seized me, but thou art the most merciful of those that are merciful. So we listened to him. We removed the distress that was on him, and restored his people to him, and doubled their number, as a grace from ourselves, and a thing for commemoration for all who serve us. And remember Ismail, Idris, and Zulkifl, all men of constancy and patience. We admit them to our mercy, for they were of the righteous ones. And remember Zunnun, when he departed in wrath, he imagined that we had no power over him. But he cried through the depths of darkness, There is no God but thou, glory to thee, I was indeed wrong. So we listened to him and delivered him from distress, and thus do we deliver those who have faith. And remember Zechariah when he cried to his Lord, O my Lord, leave me not without offspring, though thou art the best of inheritors. So we listened to him, and we granted him Yahya. We cured his wife's barrenness for him. These three were ever quick in doing good works. They used to call on us in yearning and awe, and humbled themselves before us. And remember her who guarded her chastity. We breathed into her from our spirit, and we made her and her son a sign for all peoples. Verily, this ummah of yours is a single ummah, and I am your Lord and cherisher. Therefore serve me and no other. But later generations cut off their affair of unity one from another, yet will they all return to us. Whoever works any act of righteousness and has faith, his endeavor will not be rejected. We shall record it in his favor. But there is a ban on any population which we have destroyed, that they shall not return, until the Gog and Magog people who let through their barrier, and they swiftly swarm from every hill. Then will the true promise draw nigh of fulfillment. Then behold, the eyes of the unbelievers will fixedly stare in horror. Ah, woe to us! We were indeed heedless of this. Nay, we truly did wrong. Verily, you unbelievers and the false gods that you worship besides Allah are but fuel for hell. To it will ye surely come. If these had been gods, they would not have got there, but each one will abide therein. Their sobbing will be their lot, nor will they there hear aught else. Those for whom the good from us has gone before will be removed far therefrom. Not the slightest sound will they hear of hell, what their souls desired, in that they will dwell. The great terror will bring them no grief, but the angels will meet them with mutual greetings. This is your day, the day you were promised. The day that we roll up the heavens like a scroll rolled up for books completed. Even as we produced the first creation, so shall we produce a new one, and a promise we have undertaken, truly shall we fulfill it. Before this we wrote in the Psalms after the message given to Moses, My servants the righteous shall inherit the earth. Verily, in this Qur'an is a message for people who would truly worship Allah. We sent thee not but as a mercy for all creatures. Say, what has come to me by inspiration is that your God is one God. Will you therefore bow to his will in Islam? But if they turn back, say, I have proclaimed the message to you all alike and in truth, but I know not whether that which ye are promised is near or far. It is he who knows what is in open speech and what you hide in your hearts. I know not but that it may be a trial for you and a grant of worldly livelihood to you for a time. Say, O my Lord, judge thou in truth. Our Lord most gracious is the one whose assistance should be sought against the blasphemies ye utter. O mankind, fear your Lord, for the convulsion of the hour of judgment will be a thing terrible. The day ye shall see it, every mother giving suck shall forget her suckling babe, and every pregnant female shall drop her load unformed. Thou shalt see mankind as in a drunken riot, yet not drunk. But dreadful will be the chastisement of Allah. And yet among men there are such as dispute about Allah without knowledge, and follow every Satan obstinate in rebellion, about whom Satan it is decreed that whoever turns to him for friendship, him will he lead astray, and he will guide him to the chastisement of fire. O mankind, if ye have a doubt about the resurrection, consider that we created you out of dust, then out of sperm, then out of a leech-like clot, then out of a morsel of flesh, partly formed, partly unformed, in order that we may manifest our power to you, and we cause whom we will to rest in the wombs for an appointed time. Then do we bring you out as babes, then foster you that you may reach your age of full strength. Then some of you are called to die, and some are sent back to the feeblest old age, so that they know nothing after having known much. And further thou seest the earth barren and lifeless, but when we pour down rain on it, it is stirred to life, it swells, and it puts forth every kind of beautiful growth in pairs. This is so because Allah is the reality. It is He who gives life to the dead, and it is He who has power over all things. And verily the hour will come that there can be no doubt about it, or about the fact that Allah will raise up all you who are in graves. Yet there is among men such as one who disputes about Allah, without knowledge, without guidance, and without a book of enlightenment, disdainfully bending his side in order to lead men astray from the path of Allah. For him there is a disgrace in this life, and on the day of judgment we shall make him taste the chastisement of burning fire. It will be said, this is because of the deeds which thy hand set forth, for verily Allah is not unjust to his servants. There are among men some who serve Allah, as it were, on the verge. If good befalls them, they are therewith well content. But if a trial comes to them, they turn on their faces. They lose both this world and the hereafter. That is indeed the manifest loss. They call on such deities besides Allah as can neither hurt nor profit them. That is straying far indeed from the way. Perhaps they call on one whose hurt is nearer than his profit. Evil indeed is the patron, and evil the companion for help. Verily Allah will admit those who believe and work righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rivers flow, for Allah carries out all that He desires. If any think that Allah will not help him, his messenger, in this world and the hereafter, let him stretch out a rope to the ceiling and cut himself off. Then let him see whether his plan will remove that which enrages him. Thus have we sent down clear signs, and verily Allah doth guide whom He will. Those who believe in the Qur'an, those who follow the Jewish scriptures, and the Sabians, Christians, Magians, and polytheists, Allah will judge between them on the day of judgment, for Allah is a witness to all things. Seest thou not that to Allah prostrate all things that are in the heavens and on earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, the hills, the trees, the animals, and a great number among mankind? But a great number are also such as unto whom the chastisement is justly due, and such as Allah shall disgrace, none can raise to honor, for Allah carries out all that He wills. Those two antagonists dispute with each other about their Lord, but those who deny their Lord, for them will be cut out a garment of fire, over their heads will be poured out boiling water. With it will be melted what is within their bodies, as well as their skins. In addition, there will be maces of iron to punish them. Every time they wish to get away therefrom, from anguish, they will be forced back therein, and it will be said, Taste you the chastisement of burning. Allah will admit to those who believe and work righteous deeds to gardens beneath which rivers flow. They shall be adorned therein with bracelets of gold and pearls, and their garments will be of silk. For they have been guided in this life to the purest of speeches. They have been guided to the path of Him who is worthy of all praise. As to those who have rejected Allah and would keep back men from the way of Allah and from the sacred mosque, which we have made open to all men, equal is the dweller there and the visitor from the country, and any whose purpose therein is profanity, wrongly them will we cause to taste of a most grievous chastisement. Behold, we pointed the sight to Abraham of the sacred house, saying, Associate not anything in worship with me, and sanctify my house for those who compass it round, or stand up, or bow, or prostrate themselves therein in prayer. And proclaim the pilgrimage among men. They will come to thee on foot and mounted on every camel, lean on account of journeys through deep and distant mountain highways, that they may witness the benefits provided for them, and celebrate the name of Allah through the days appointed over the cattle which He has provided for them for sacrifice. Then eat you thereof, and feed the distressed ones in want. Then let them complete the rites prescribed for them, fulfill their vows, and again circumambulate the ancient house. Such is the pilgrimage. Whoever honors the sacred rites of Allah, for him it is good in the sight of his Lord. Lawful to you for food and pilgrimage are cattle, except those mentioned to you as exceptions. So shun the abomination of idols, and shun the word that is false. Being true in faith to Allah, and never assigning partners to Him. If anyone assigns partners to Allah, he is as if he had fallen from heaven and been snatched up by birds, or the wind had swooped like a bird on its prey and thrown him to a far distant place. Such is his state, and whoever holds the honor, the rights of Allah, and the sacrifice of animals, such honor should come truly from the piety of the heart. In them you have benefits for a term appointed. In the end their place of sacrifice is near the ancient house. To every people did we appoint rites of sacrifice, that they might celebrate the name of Allah over the sustenance He gave them from animals fit for food. But your God is one God. Submit then your wills to Him in Islam, and give thou the good news to those who humble themselves. To those whose hearts, when Allah is mentioned, are filled with fear, who show patient perseverance over their afflictions, keep up regular prayer, and spend in charity out of what we have bestowed upon them. The sacrificial camels we have made for you as among the signs from Allah. In them is much good for you. Then pronounce the name of Allah over them as they line up for sacrifice. When they are down on their sides, after slaughter, eat ye thereof, and feed such as beg not, but live in contentment, and such as beg with due humility. Thus have we made animals subject to you, that you may be grateful. It is not their meat nor their blood that reaches Allah. It is your piety that reaches Him. He has thus made them subject to you, that you may glorify Allah for His guidance to you, and proclaim the good news to all who do good. Verily Allah will defend from ill those who believe. Verily Allah loveth not any that is unfaithful or ungrateful. To those against whom war is made, permission is given to fight because they are wronged, and verily Allah is the most powerful for their aid. They are those who have been expelled from their homes in defiance of right for no cause, except that they say, Our Lord is Allah. Did not Allah check one set of people by means of another? There would surely have been pulled down monasteries, churches, synagogues, and mosques, in which the name of Allah is commemorated in abundant measure. Allah will certainly aid those who aid His cause, for verily Allah is full of strength, exalted in might, able to enforce His will. They are those who, if we establish them in the land, establish regular prayer and give zakat, enjoin the right and forbid wrong, With Allah rests the end and decision of all affairs. If they disbelieve you, so did the peoples before them with their prophets, the people of Noah and Az and Thamud, and those of Abraham and Lut, and the companions of the Madian people, and Moses was rejected in the same way. But I granted respite to the unbelievers, and only after that did I punish them. But how terrible was my punishment of them! How many populations have we destroyed which were given to wrongdoing? They tumbled down on their roofs, and how many wells are lying idle and neglected, and castles lofty and well built? Do they not travel through the land, so that their hearts and minds may thus learn wisdom, and their ears may thus learn to hear? Truly it is not the eyes that are blind, but the hearts which are in their breasts. Yes, they ask thee to hasten on the punishment, but Allah will not fail in his promise. Verily a day in the sight of thy Lord is like 1,000 years of your reckoning. And to how many populations did I give respite, which were given to wrongdoing? In the end I punish them. To me is the destination of all. Say, O men, I am sent to you only to give a clear warning. Those who believe and work righteousness, for them is the forgiveness and a sustenance most generous. But those who strive against our signs to frustrate them, they will be companions of the fire. Never did we send a messenger or a prophet before thee, but when he framed a desire, Satan threw some vanity into his desire. But Allah will cancel anything vain that Satan throws in, and Allah will confirm and establish his signs, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. That he may make the suggestions thrown in by Satan but a trial for those in whose hearts is a disease and who are hardened of heart. Verily the wrongdoers are in a schism far from the truth. And that those on whom knowledge has been bestowed may learn that the Qur'an is the truth from thy Lord, and that they may believe therein, and their hearts may be made humbly open to it. For verily Allah is the guide of those who believe to the straight way. Those who reject faith will not cease to be in doubt concerning revelation until the hour of judgment comes suddenly upon them, or there comes to them the chastisement of a barren day. On that day the dominion will be that of Allah. He will judge between them. So those who believe and work righteous deeds will be in gardens of delight. And for those who reject faith and deny our signs, there will be a humiliating punishment. Those who leave their homes in the cause of Allah and are then slain or die, on them will Allah bestow verily a goodly provision. Truly Allah is He who bestows the best provision. Verily He will admit them to a place with which they shall be well pleased, for Allah is all-knowing, most forbearing. That is so, and if one has retaliated to no greater extent than the injury he received, and is again set upon inordinately, Allah will help him, for Allah is one that blots out sins and forgives again and again. It is because Allah merges night into day, and He merges day into night, and verily it is Allah who hears and sees all things. That is because Allah, He is the reality, and those besides Him whom they invoke, they are but vain falsehood. Verily Allah is He, most high, most great. Seest thou not that Allah sends down rain from the sky, and forthwith the earth becomes clothed with green? For Allah is all subtle, all aware. To Him belongs all that is in the heavens and on earth, for verily Allah, He is free of all wants, worthy of praise. Seest thou not that Allah has made subject to you men, all that is on the earth, and the ships that sail through the sea by His command? He withholds the sky from falling on the earth, except by His leave, for Allah is most kind, most merciful to man. It is He who gave you life, will cause you to die, and will again give you life. Truly man is a most ungrateful creature. To every people have we appointed rights which they must follow. Let them not then dispute with thee on the matter, but do thou invite them to thy Lord, for thou art assuredly on the right way. If they do wrangle with thee, say, Allah knows best what it is ye are doing. Allah will judge between you on the day of judgment concerning the matters in which ye differ. Knowest thou not that Allah knows all that is in heaven and on earth? Indeed, it is all in a record, and that is easy for Allah. Yet they worship besides Allah things for which no authority has been sent down to them, and of which they have really no knowledge. For those that do wrong, there is no helper. When our clear signs are rehearsed to them, thou wilt notice a denial on the faces of the unbelievers. They nearly attack with violence those who rehearse our signs to them. Say, shall I tell you of something far worse than that? It is the fire of hell. Allah has promised it to the unbelievers, and evil is that destination. O men, here is a parable set forth. Listen to it. Those on whom besides Allah ye call cannot create even a fly, if they are all met together for the purpose. And if the fly should snatch away anything from them, they would have no power to release it from the fly. Feeble are those who petition, and those whom they petition. They do not have the right estimate of Allah, for Allah is powerful and mighty. Allah chooses messengers from angels and from men, for Allah is He who hears and sees all things. He knows what is before them and what is behind them, and to Allah go back all affairs for decision. O ye who believe, bow down, prostrate yourselves, and adore your Lord, and do good that you may prosper. And strive in His cause as ye ought to strive, with sincerity and under discipline. He has chosen you, and has imposed no difficulties on you in religion. It is the religion of your father Abraham. It is He who has named you Muslims, both before and in this revelation, that the messenger may be a witness for you, and ye be witness for mankind. So establish regular prayer, give zakat, and hold fast to Allah. He is your protector, the best to protect, and the best to help.